I seen someone across the water, and I thought it was my grandpa. And I was like, oh, I want to go to him. And as soon as I thought that, I blinked, and I was standing in front of him, and I was so wrong because it was God that I knew right. And it's crazy because everything you think there, you just know the answer right away. So as soon as he looked at me, I was flooded with the most love I've ever felt in my entire life. It's like it's like all the love you've ever given and all the love you ever got. If you could pull it into one little point and then stretch the point into forever.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Channel Within. I'm speaking with Gene Long, and I'm excited to delve into his remarkable NDE.
Thanks. I'm nice to be here.
Thank you so much for talking with me. And do you want to get started with life before your NDE?
Sure. Um, I grew up in a rough neighborhood with a rough upbringing. My parents were on drugs my whole beginning of my childhood. I wouldn't change it for the world because it made me a strong person, but it led me to doing drugs myself early on. And after some unfortunate events like losing my grandfather, who was like my dad, and someone who's like my brother, it led me to really hard drugs. And I was basically trying to kill myself with them because I was too scared to do it myself. So I thought that was the easy way out. And just to keep it short, I was on drugs really bad, homeless. And I remember I cried to my mom one day saying, Mom, is God real? And if he is he good? You know, because all the bad stuff that was happening to me. And that year I'd found out I was diabetic my whole life, but I never went to the doctors because my parents was on drugs, so I didn't know. And so I had to start doing insulin all the time, every day, but I really didn't care to do it because I wanted to die. You know what I mean? So after I cried to my mom about that, the same week I walked out of the same room and my blood sugar spiked to 1,900, and you're
Wow.
supposed to die at 900. So when that happened, I was walking past some steps and I fell down the steps due to a seizure. And when I hit the last step, I hit the back of my head right here and started bleeding on my brain. And that made me have 30 grand mal seizures. Then I fell into a coma for 2 months with a 1% chance to wake up. They said if I did wake up, I'd never walk or talk again. They were wrong. And while I was in the coma, I was septic and I had multi organ failure while I was in hospice. So then they decided, well, after that, I had multi organ failure. My brain died. And when my brain died, they said, well, you can't come back from that. So we're going to remove him from life support to let his body die with his brain. And they did that. And when they did, I had woke up. I was only 97 pounds. Couldn't walk or talk, any of that. I had to learn to do all that again. But the amazing part is what happened when they took me off of life support. So while I was in the coma, I like to say it was like slight consciousness because I was dreaming that my family was coming to visit me in the hospital. So I don't understand how that was happening. But when they removed me from life support, I didn't follow a light or anything like that. I blinked, and when I opened my eyes, I was standing on an ocean of energy that had every color going through it with lights swimming through it like the lights were alive. And it was like an opal, but I was standing on top of it, and I didn't have a regular body, but I didn't know it was weird. I thought I was always like that. I didn't remember Earth or being on Earth at all, to be honest with you. It was kind of like, you know, when you wake up from a dream and you forget the dream right away. It's like this was the dream, and I had woke up in real life. So when I was looking, I raised my vision, and on the other side of the water, well, there was mist floating around me everywhere, and it was like different hues of color. And then there were like vines that were threaded out of rainbow light. It was kind of like a fantasy world. And when I seen across the water, I thought it was my grandpa, which I don't understand because the only thing I could say is like I knew the people who were gone from here, but I didn't remember the people who were here. And I mean, it's kind of a good thing because then you would miss them when you were there. But anyways, I digress. I seen someone across the water, and I thought it was my grandpa. And I was like, oh, I want to go to him. And as soon as I thought that, I blinked, and I was standing in front of him, and I was so wrong because it was God that I knew right. And it's crazy because everything you think there, you just know the answer right away. So as soon as he looked at me, I was flooded with the most love I've ever felt in my entire life. It's like it's like all the love you've ever given and all the love you ever got. If you could pull it into one little point and then stretch the point into forever, because time didn't exist while I was there either. So, yeah, I call him the Holy Spirit, God. He has many names, but I don't like to put him in a box because he made the box. You know what I mean? And I was flooded with the most love ever. We never said one word to each other. It was just everything was understood. You know what I mean? And no negativity. I didn't even know negative energy existed. I thought there was only positive love, and love's an understatement. Honestly, it was way beyond love. And we kneeled down together on top of the water, and I call it water, but it's like if there was something before all the elements, and God pulled all the elements out of. That's what I was standing on. And we kneeled down together, and we began to vibrate. And when we vibrated at the right frequency, a crystal footstool started to grow out of the water. And as soon as it was done building, I blinked and I opened my eyes and I was 97 pounds in a hospital bed. And my room was filled with all my best friends, all my closest family. They were all crying that it was a miracle, and I was just real confused because that felt realer than this felt. And then when I came back, my mom's petting me, telling me I'm brain damaged and I'm not gonna think the same. And I'm just like, if I tell them where I just was, they're definitely gonna think I'm crazy. So yeah, that's my story, man. And as soon as I learned how to walk, I moved as far away from my hometown as I could. Moved all the way down to Florida so that I could stay away from the drugs. I was scared that I might use them again, which I'm not scared of anymore because I don't even get the urge. So it's kind of great, honestly. And I'm also putting this out here because I'm a type 1 diabetic who hasn't done insulin in 2 years. I don't need insulin anymore. So I don't know. Maybe a doctor can find something to help other people because I'm supposed to do insulin once a week or once a day at least, or I would die. So
Wow.
yeah,
Congrats on being drug free and
thank
insulin free as well.
you.
What amazing accomplishments,
Thank
Shane.
you. It wasn't me, dude. It was all him, honestly. I know it was. You know what I mean? And the thing I love the most, a couple things I love, honestly, is one, when I asked, was he real and if he was good, he loved me enough to show me instead of condemn me for it, like most people would tell you. I don't think he would make us with questioning minds and then punish us for that. You know what I mean? I mean, I made tons of mistakes. Like I said, I was a drug addict and I was questioning God. And he loved, when he looked at me, I felt like I was the only thing in the universe he ever made. I felt so special, honestly. It made me love myself. I wake up with a smile every day and go to sleep with a smile every day because of the way he looked at me, honestly. It'll fuel me forever.
That's beautiful. I have some questions. What did God look like? Or, and equally important, what did it feel like to be in his presence?
Okay, so he looked like literally if you could take an opal and then you could form that into a person but remove the outline because it's just light. He had the shape of a person, but he didn't look like he doesn't have skin or you know what I'm saying? He's literally just light. That's it. And what it felt like to be in the presence of him, it felt like the best way I could put it is I felt like the center of the universe. Like I felt like the whole reason he did it all. I felt so beyond special. And honestly, a good way to put it is like when you're a human, like right now, you think that you're you. So you're water inside of a balloon floating in the ocean. And the ocean is God. So you think you're that separate water, but when you die, you lose that balloon and you spread back out into God. You know what I mean? I was a part of the whole universe. And all I felt was love. That was it. Nothing. I didn't even know that anything else existed but love.
That is such a beautiful analogy. It's the balloon in the ocean, and we encapsulate in the balloon because Rumi says something similar. You are the drop in the ocean, and you are the wave and the ocean as well. And
Exactly.
that is beautiful. Jean, did your mom have a big role in
I
keeping you
love,
alive? I remember
oh,
that. Can
a
you talk
huge
about
role.
that?
Yeah, so because this is amazing too. So me and my mom are like this. And we were like this before the coma too. My mom's always been my best friend because a lot of people would judge their mom for what my mom's been through. But I because they take that title and then they impose these crazy limits on them like they're not supposed to be human. You know what I mean? I give my mom so much props because she made it through the battle of addiction and came out stronger. You know what I mean? So anyways, if we didn't have that bond, I wouldn't be alive because while I was in the hospital, they were trying to take my organs, even though I'm not an organ donor. So they were trying to take my organs, and then my organs started failing. So my mom said, none of his organs are good for you to take. And they said, well, we'll take his eyes and use his stem cells from his eyes. And my mom said, okay, well, I want to go with you in the basement so my son doesn't die by himself because we're best friends. And they said no. And then that's when my mom told him, like, you can't have anything then. My sister Tara also played a huge role. They had me really doped up, and my sister came in from out of town and she said, how's he supposed to wake up if you guys got him sedated like this? Take him off of all of that. You know what I mean? So if it wasn't for them two, I wouldn't be alive either. And I know that was God working through them too. You know what I mean? Honestly. It was so many parts. All the prayers, it all matters, man. It all matters, really. A great part about heaven too is there was nobody at a gate with a list of all the things I did wrong. You know what I mean? And people ask me, did I see people I love? It's like you're infused into them. Like you're closer than you've ever been, and it's hard to understand as a human. And I don't. It upsets people sometimes because like I want to see them. No, forget seeing them. You're going to be them too. You know what I mean? It's hard to understand as a human, but it's a great feeling because you're with everything and you just love it. That's it.
I like it that you bring up the list at the gate because it seems like religion in its purest form intends well, but the translation sometimes doesn't go so well. And so,
Mm-hmm.
when in all the different religions, when we are told that we'll be judged, or it's hard to reconcile this loving God with a judge, someone full of judgment, and we may be excluded. And like you said, we are not separate from that great being that pervades the entire universe.
An analogy I like to make about I'll say a couple things about that. One, it's like I think in the beginning, and this is just a human way of saying it. I think in the beginning, if God was a giant mirror, he shattered himself into trillions of tiny pieces, and now he's trying to experience it all. You know what I
I
mean?
love that.
Another way to look at it is like if he was the sun and you're the sunlight, is there really that you come from? You are the sun. You know what I mean? So, I mean, you're not the creator, but you are of the creator. Apples make apples, right? So, and then a big one, and I like this analogy. It's or acronym BIBLE, basic instructions before leaving Earth. It's just trying to teach you to be a great person. You know what I mean? That's all. That's why he came down here to show you the way to be a great person. But I don't think he's gonna. I think you can damn yourself forever. I think that you can choose to separate. That's why he gave you free will. You can choose to separate yourself from God, and that's hell. You know what I mean? But that's your choice. He left it up to you. You know what I mean? And but he sees your mistakes and he doesn't hate you for them. You know, at all. At all. I judged myself way more in life than he judged me in death. And that's one thing I learned is to like you only get one. You're the main character of your story, so make it a great one. You know what I mean? Mistakes are gonna happen, but get up, keep your eye on the prize. You know what I'm saying? Keep moving forward. That's what matters. Don't focus on the
It's,
fall. Focus
yeah,
on getting up and running still. There's a goal you got to get to.
awesome, Jean. So, when did you first start talking about this experience?
Basically, as soon as I started being able to talk again, I was telling my family and my friends right away. Honestly, I just tell everybody. Everybody I meet at work, in the grocery line. It doesn't matter where I'm at, what I'm doing. It's always been this. I just if I have 2 minutes, I try to blurt it. I say, hey, do you want to hear a miracle story real quick? And usually they say yeah, and I spit it out. And two things happen: I either sound crazy, which is normal, and the other thing is they believe me, and that can bring people hope. You know, as far as when somebody else dies in their life and they're scared that they'll never see him again, which is wrong, or they're scared of dying themselves. You know what I mean? If I can bring, God has put a overflowing in hope into my life, and I feel like if my cup's overflowing, why wouldn't I fill other people's? You know, so it's been happening since I could talk again. There's literally
Nice.
no residual effects from the coma besides I have a bad memory. I'm missing a tiny piece of my ear because the hospital stopped moving me because they thought I wasn't waking up, and that's it. The best thing that happened is I am overflowing full of love all the time, like literally all the time. That's my main
Yeah.
characteristic. You can ask anybody, even strangers who've only seen me once or twice will tell you that. All I am is love. I mean, I'm human. I get mad, I get sad, all that stuff, but my main baseline is extremely loving and happy. And it's all because of that. It's the number one thing I think about today still. When I wake up, when I go to
Remarkable.
sleep. Yeah, it's great.
So, are
I,
you afraid of death, Jean?
no, I can't wait to die again, honestly. It sounds so crazy, but I look forward to it so what because I'll be back with my creator. I can't wait. I can't wait till he looks at me again. I know he's looking at me now, but I'm in the dream, so it's hard to I know he's doing it, but I can't see him doing it. And I want to see how he looks at me again. You know what I mean? I just want to make him proud. Like, cause I know he's going through this every step with me. So I want him like, good job. Like we had fun that time. You know what I mean? Nobody thinks about wanting to make God smile. Imagine how sad he is with everybody dying who doesn't believe him, doesn't love him. I just want him to know I love him and I'm having a great time this time. You know what I mean? I'm glad that he let me come back and do it again.
I
Honestly.
love that. And what message do you have for someone who is at the edge of death or someone taking care of someone who's there?
The sad part is the ones that are left over here. You know what I mean? Because we have to miss making new memories with them people. So as long as you can treat the people that you have like gold, there's nothing to worry about. Death is the that's the fun part. I promise. And I'll meet you on the other side and say I told you so. The scary part is how you die. I don't want to bleed out for 3 days. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather go out in my sleep. But honestly, I don't care how I go because I can't wait to go. Honestly, it's the scary part's living. You know, honestly, look at all the dangers that happen all the time. You know, it's nothing scary about death to me. I cannot wait to go. So my
That's
only thing I would
beautiful.
say to them is open your arms. Death has been waiting, following you your whole life. It's one of your best friends. It's been there through it all, and it's gonna lead you to your creator. So don't be scared of it. You know, everybody's
That
done it who's ever lived. Everybody.
yes,
So
it's
it must be
inevitable.
something cool about it if everybody's doing
You're
it.
right. It's inevitable. And every day we make a
Yeah.
step closer to the grave, and death
Yeah.
rides shotgun with us
Yeah.
and is
He
one
might be
breath
Ubering
away.
us.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Um, is there anything that we haven't talked about that you want to expand on, Jean?
Treat people like gold because death is forever. So you're there for eternity. But time doesn't work the same there. So this is the treasure. You know what I mean? We got this much time here. So make every second count. But don't beat yourself up. Okay? Because God loves you for sure. Like it's not
Yeah.
even a question. He loves you. He's right there through the ups and the downs. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to hide the bad parts of you. He made those too. He loves
You
you
know, a lot of NDEs like yourself talk about how over there it's more real than here, and
very
the whole
much so.
dream concept. And, we learn in nursery rhymes, row, row, row your boat, that life is but a dream. And God is known in some ancient tradition, what ancient wisdom as the cosmic magician, and this is a world that is dreamlike, and the other one is more real. So when you were there and you came, what did you think of here? Was it like a holiday then, if that's home and, the real place?
I think that we are all there already and we're dreaming that we're here and we're just sharing the dream. And that's why consciousness makes reality. Reality doesn't make consciousness. You know what I mean? We're all just sharing a dream that's very, very realistic. That's
Wow.
it.
Yeah, that's so beautifully said also.
That's the
Um,
best way I could put it. It's hard to put it into words because these are inhuman things that we're using. English, where in English is one of the worst languages that you could choose to use to describe things. So it's like I try my best. That's why the water balloon thing is the best way I could put what like. It made me realize that your body limits your senses. It doesn't give you your senses. Like you only see this much light, you only hear this much sound because it's so much more. That and it's kind of like you're a baby soul and God put you in this body to prepare you for all the senses you're going to have. Because honestly, I used to beat myself up and I'd be like, why didn't you pay more attention when you were there? But it was so normal while I was there. But it was so much more colors, you know what I mean, for instance. And then I can't even remember the sounds. It's hard for me to picture the colors because I've never seen them colors in these eyes. You know what I mean? So it's very hard. I just say rainbow light because it was like so many colors of light. You know what I mean? And then it's like the light was alive too, which was crazy to me. It was like everything was light, love, and life. That's the best way to put
I love that light, love, and
it.
life.
Yeah,
When you said you took a look at yourself, were you like a light being also?
that was the same thing that God was made out of. The same thing that the ground was made out of, and the same thing that was floating around me, and the rainbow vines. It was all the same thing. It was You're everything. You are just the universe bundled up in something they call a gene right now. You know what I mean? But you're so much more than that. But it's everything. But I didn't have skin or teeth or anything like this. I was literally the same exact thing God was, just a baby version, which was crazy to me. It was really like looking at your father, and he looks at you like you're the apple of his eye. Really, like it's insane, but that's really how he looked at me. And I mean, I've gotten people like, "Oh yeah, you're just like an American, thinking you're the center." I never thought I was the center. I'm just saying what it made me feel like, and that's the honest to God truth. God strike me down on my mother's beating heart. I'm not making a single word up. This is just me being honest so people know what they're going to experience. I pray that people get to experience this, what I went through. I pray they go through that. Because I don't know, because Earth's big, so heaven's big. Maybe I experienced one tiny little part of it, where I popped up. And I just so happened to see my king, but it was worth it. And I'd do it a million times over. That's for sure. I can't wait to go back.
Yeah, that's so beautiful, Jean. Um, I have three questions I ask everyone. What brings you joy and laughter these days?
Bringing a smile to somebody else. If I can make your life easier when I walk past you, then I'm happy. That's
You
it.
know what you when you talk about the love, it's so inspiring because you talk about how you didn't feel that way before, and then when you realize that when you came to the conclusion that, or you recognized that you were the apple of God's eye, it made you love yourself too. And Buddha said that we are equally deserving of all the love we give out in the world. And so that self-love also is so beautiful that you came back with. Like, so it's love for everyone, love for God, love for self. What
Love
more can you
everything.
ask for?
I say it's my superpower, honestly. And honestly, another thing that helped, because when I fell down them steps after the seizure, I fell down them steps alone. And I thought that I didn't deserve to be loved. You know what I mean? And when I woke up from my coma and I looked around the room, and my room was full of all of my best friends from 10 plus years, you know what I mean? and then my family members, and they were all just crying so happy. And they not only were they happy to see me wake up, but they were bonded. Even though they didn't hang out with each other, they came together through me, and they were making their own bonds, and they're great friends now that never had hung out before, but they had found that connection through me, and it just warmed me that my wave affected the universe in a positive way when I thought
So,
it wouldn't at all.
wow. So did they come to essentially say goodbye to you?
That's
That's what
exactly
they.
why they were there. They were there because they when they unplugged me, they said his body will shut down in 90 minutes. So they did that. Everybody came and said goodbye. And while they were saying goodbye, I woke up. A doctor walked past my bed and he said my eyes followed him. And he said, "Wait, did I see what I think I just saw?" And he went and got another doctor and came back, and I was awake. And it
Wow.
was very confusing to me because it's like the transfer of realities. It's like you're not sure which one is was real. You know what I mean? So, and then they're all telling me I'm brain damaged and that I want like I'm not gonna be able to do anything. And I'm like, and I can't talk at the time or walk, and I'm only 97, but I can't even hold a cup. So I'm like, oh, I'm messed up forever. I'm pooping myself. You know what I mean? It was crazy, but I was just like, I remember that part specifically. It was a very embarrassing moment in my life. But I was just like, they were trying to keep me in the hospital bed, and I'm like, I'm gonna get up and fall. I'm just gonna keep falling because if I don't, then you're gonna keep me in this bed forever. No way. I got somewhere to go. Yeah,
So recuperation, I bet, wasn't easy, but you took it one step at a time. That's
literally.
beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, it took about a month to be able to talk, and the only reason I couldn't talk is well, my muscles were gone, but they ripped the tube out of my throat, thinking I was gonna die, and it damaged my vocal cords. And then I couldn't walk for about 2 months, but I was falling the whole 2 months. I had an alarm on my bed that was going off all day long because I kept getting up. But I was trying to use the bathroom on my own. You know what I mean? I was just determined. I wasn't gonna let it stop me. Now I work construction. Sometimes I mean I do anything I want. I live 1,000 miles away from home. I can drive. I can walk backwards while I talk. You know what I mean? There's no residual effects that would tell you that I'm brain damaged, but the hospital will tell you I am. It's amazing. It blows my and it lets you know the restorative power that God has. Honestly, and I'm
Yeah, like
grateful
you
for it
said, your
every day.
miracle story,
Yeah,
Gene.
yeah. He's the miracle story. He just showed it through me. You know what I mean? And I'm honored that I got to be a part of his story showing it. You know? So I really am grateful to him every day. I wake up and the first thing I do is thank him. The last thing I do before I go to bed is thank him every time. Every time. And when I don't, I apologize. I talk to him like he's just my best friend sitting right next to me, even about the bad stuff, I think. You know what I mean? How could you hide something from him? It doesn't make any. A lot of people only just pray like they make it like a TV show. You know what I mean? I make it like God is my best friend, my wife, my husband, my king, my you know what I mean? He's my
Your
everything.
everything, or
Exactly.
everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I talk to him about what I want to watch on TV today and what I hope happens on TV. Talk to him about everything. You know what I mean? And it makes life so much easier. Just to have somebody, the best thing in the world, the one that made everything, has your back. And when you know that, dude, you're just ready for whatever.
Gene, that's beautiful because we don't have to wait until Sunday in a church to talk to
Mm-mm.
him. Constant dialogue,
Yeah,
because all religions also say that he is omnipresent. So
yeah.
where is he not? Right?
You're the
So
temple. The temple is not built with bricks. He built the temple before you even were in it. He was prototyping temples for you. You know
exactly. And the Bible says the kingdom of God is within. So he is
exactly.
inside
Jesus said,
every
"Ye
one of
are
us.
gods." He
Yes.
told you. They
Yes.
try not to say that part, but he told you. You just
Yes.
gotta listen. He didn't say anything wrong. I haven't found. You know what made me really believe in Jesus is not only all the prophecies that he fulfilled, like the chances of that happening, that's its own thing, but the fact that he said that he was gonna go talk to his father, and while he was doing that, he was gonna send a comforter. And the only thing I felt from the man I seen when I died was comfort.
Aw.
You know what I mean? That's it. So he's 1,000% credible in my book. So basic instructions before leaving Earth.
I like it.
Yeah.
What would you tell young Jean who's about to embark on this wonderful journey of life?
Hold on, buddy. It gets better, I promise. Don't quit.
Yes.
You're not gonna quit anyway, so quit acting like you're going to. It gets way funner, I promise, Gene. And you're not done yet still. Look what's happened in 33 years. Imagine 33 more. Oh, 34.
Absolutely. So when did this happen? Did
July
they?
11th starts the sixth year.
Okay, okay.
Yep. So my new birthday is coming up in a couple days.
Yes,
Yeah. I have
yes.
two birthdays now. You know, the good one
Abs- yes,
and
yes. No,
the great one.
absolutely. Twice born.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
In the
And I'd
best
say
way.
thrice, honestly, because dude, I've overdosed once too. And the crazy thing about that, and that was before my coma. The crazy thing about my overdose is I floated into a cloud of darkness and I knew that I was in nothing and I couldn't do anything. And that's what I would call hell. You know what I mean? That was the absence of God. And I had to be Narcan 4 times, I think, that time, 5 times to get up. But that was before my coma. Not too long before my coma, actually. It's like God showed me both. Like you could
Yeah,
be without me forever or you could be with me forever. Which one do you want to do? That's what I mean. It's your choice.
yeah,
He gave you the free will to decide to be with him or without him. And you don't have to other people can help you, but you have a personal relationship with God. He will tell you what he wants from you. You don't have to rely on somebody else to transcribe it for you. He's a voice in your head that sounds just like you, but he says stuff that you wouldn't say.
that is that is really nice because I don't. I also don't want an intermediary, someone between me and God. And I
You
love
don't.
what you say. The voice sounds like yours, but nicer.
You have to be careful because there's one that sounds like you that's not nicer. That'll also try to beat you up. You know what I mean? And take you down the wrong path. They both sound just like you. But you can tell which the one that makes your soul shiver in a good way, that's the one you listen to. When my soul shakes, I know it's from God. It literally vibrates inside my body. And then that's when I know, even when I'm reading the Bible, if it doesn't make my soul vibrate, I'm like, it's not of God. Man has corrupted everything he's touched. And, and, but you can feel it when it's from God. Always. 100%. I've never not felt it if it was from God. My soul
Yeah,
gets excited because he's close to me. You know what I mean? Even if it's just his word. My soul's like, oh, there he goes. He's right there.
I
Honestly.
love it. It reminds me of a Native American story that goes like there are two selves in us, a higher self and a lower self, and the one that we feed the
Feed
most with, yeah,
the
exactly.
wolves. Yep. The
So
two wolves in you. I agree with that
yes, and
100%.
that's what you just said, so that's beautiful.
Yeah. That's the
Yeah.
truth, man. And it is hard, but it's just like God never said it was going to be easy. He just said he would be there. And he is. That's why you only see one set of footprints. He's carrying you.
Oh my gosh, Footprints in the Sand, one of my favorite
Yeah.
poems. Yeah,
Yeah, that's the
absolutely.
truth.
Absolutely.
Honestly. He's carried
Yeah.
me through so much. I'm eternally grateful. Even if I had to go through a million years and nobody believed in this just to get one person to go where I went, it would be worth it. Honestly. Honestly. I'll sound crazy to a billion people with no problem. It'll be worth it. I've already had
Yeah.
people believe me, so it's already been worth it. You know, it was worth it when I found out, but then I'm like, I get to tell other people too. Like, it's great to find your life's mission at 30. You know, some people never find it. And mine is just such a cool one. I just get to tell people the miracle of our Creator and how much He loves us. And that that's not the end of it. You know what I mean? People need to know that because death breaks people sometimes, and it shouldn't. It's no reason to. It's a
Yeah.
buddy, you know?
Yes. Yes, that has been given a bad rap. And I
Yeah.
mean, the first few days and weeks of losing a loved one is not easy. But,
Mm-mm.
when we are need to get out of this body because of old age, etc., death is a friend,
Beautiful. It's
like you said.
beautiful. Yeah. It gets
Yeah.
hard.
And you talked about the non duality on the other side, all positive,
That's
and then
awesome.
when you come back here, you recognize still that life is a struggle. There is a duality,
Yeah.
but we have him by our side. So how
The,
wonderful.
you wouldn't know good if you didn't experience bad. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And then you wouldn't grow. Adversity creates growth. You have to.
Yeah.
A seed falls from the sky into the
Yes.
dirt, and then it
Yeah.
has to be covered in darkness for it to grow into
Yes.
a mighty oak,
Yeah.
or a redwood. But it
Yeah.
has to go through that adversity and that struggle to
Yeah.
do that, to become its full potential. And I think that's the only reason that God even put a duality into here, is so that you could grow. Because if He left you comfortable, you'd stay a seed hanging
Yeah.
on the branch. You know what I mean? He
Yes.
wants you to be so much more.
Yeah. I
He
love that.
sees you as so much more.
Yeah. Jean, what final message or blessing do you have for those listening?
Uh, Thanks for listening, and don't be scared. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy the time you have here. Thank God for every second of it. Don't waste it. Keep smiling because you're the main character. You know, so make a good story. You know, when you go over it, when you're done, make sure it makes you smile. That's all, and help somebody else smile. That's what it's about.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being here with me today, Jean. And thank you for this wonderful story. And may you continue to inspire everyone you meet.